All right. It's so contradictory. So contradictory. On the one hand, we're told the economy is not really going to get back on track until consumers gain confidence and start spending. And yet, in the very same financial report, it says the trouble with the baby boomers is they're not saving the way they were supposed to. So how can we save and spend at the same time? Nobody has the answer to that. And anybody who does is a fake, phony fraud. Alan, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hi, Bob. I have a comment on the state of the economy and consumer spending.
Yes.
The Federal Reserve Bank has been lowering interest rates now for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that the banks can now borrow daily at about 5.25%. At the same time, you and I, the consumer, have the luxury of being able to use our credit cards and pay those same banks 19.8% to buy in the consumer goods and services area.
You know what else annoys me about the credit card people? I have been sent cards. Dear Mr. Grant, you have a perfect record. You qualify, therefore, for the following card. You know, they give you the Visa or MasterCard, and they say, and the best news of all is there is no annual fee. No annual fee at all. So you take the card, and you don't get an annual fee until 1 year goes by, and then you get the letter. Due to operating costs, we are forced to impose a fee. Then the next year, it's due to operating costs, we are forced to increase the fee. Anytime that happens with me, I drop the skunks. Drop them! Excuse me, did I shout? Excuse me. All right, thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
That was Alan from his car listening to me from my studio.
Sonny Block with some information about information. Listen closely. People come up to me and they say, how do you get information about stocks and bonds and mutual funds and money market funds and interest rates on mortgages 48 hours before we see them in the Wall Street Journal or on the front pages of our business section of our newspaper? Very simple. I go to my telephone, I push a few little buttons, and bada bing, there it is, right there. It's called Dow Phone. Now, that's my source. I'm sharing it with you because all of the main business reporters in the world use this source, and it's yours, absolutely free to try it out. It's inexpensive once you subscribe, but the first shot is going to be free. I want you to call 1-800-435-8600. Tell them that you want a free demonstration of Dow Phone and tell them that Sonny Block sent you. 1-800-435-8600. Get ahead of the pack, and you're the one that's going to make the most money.
With cold weather on the horizon, the situation in the Middle East heating up, and the supply of crude oil dropping dramatically, the price of heating oil is heading up. And the analysts at Diversified Trading Systems believe a $5,000 investment could return as much as $20,000 to $25,000 in the next 6 months. Call today for a free investment kit and a free 6-month subscription to Futures Magazine. Call 1-800-749-1503, 1-800-749-1503. Over the past 3 weeks, crude oil stocks have dropped by 17 million barrels, according to the American Petroleum Institute, while the possibility of a new conflict with Iraq has grown. These factors and the predicted colder than normal winter are boosting heating oil prices. Call now to learn more about this potentially rewarding investment. The number is 1-800-749-1503. These are purchasing of options recommendations which carry high risk. If you choose to invest $5,000, realize it is at total risk.
Harold, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hello, Robert. Long-time admirer, first-time caller. I just wanted to remind, in the Wall Street Journal, there was an article about baby boomers saving. Now, a lot of the savings, they do not include in the baby boomers their house or their home. That's not included in their savings. And a lot of us who are baby boomers has a lot of our money tied up. Compared to the Japanese, they have money tied up in their houses, but they're usually these small condominiums shared by 3 families. It's an interesting article, and you'll see that it's not as bad as it looks. There's a lot of other reasons why there are a lot of things that are not included in the baby boom.
Yeah, but in that same publication, they have a story about the disappointment in baby boomers, that they thought they would be better savers once they had reached maturity. You're a baby boomer. What are you, in your 40s?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. And I think that if we added up all our other things that they do not, like the stock market and things like that,
nobody has. Wait a minute. Nobody has any business in the stock market. That is a fool's game, an absolute fool's game.
No question, but it's still savings, you know.
No, it's not savings. It's not savings. Are you kidding? Don't mislead people. Stock market is not savings at all. Stock market is only for those people who feel they have too much money and they want to lessen their worth.
Well, nice talking to you, Bob, and it's a pleasure. I'm still a long-time admirer of yours.
Thank you, Harold.
Have a nice day.
I wonder what he meant by still. Do you suppose this guy's a gonif, which is another way of saying a stockbroker? It reminds me of a guy that fleeced me for many years. His name is Harry David Hazarai. They call him H.D. Hazarai. He's with the firm of Gonif, and Schlemielenthal. Have you ever heard of him? He drives around, not that he's frugal, but he drives around in a 1947 P. Green Studebaker, license number SOB 696969. Now, the guy had a lot in Hewlett. Yeah, he bought a piece of property in Hewlett. And you know what? When they found out, when the township of Hewlett found out it was Mr. Hazarai, they refused to give him a building permit. You know what the skunk did? He pitched a tent. He lives in a tent, not too far from Cynthia Court out there in Hewlett. Mr. Hazarai. And if you should see him driving around in that 1947 P. Green Studebaker, license number SOB 696969, run him over. He's dangerous. He's a gonif to end all gonifs. He belongs in Attica. Mr. Hazarai, that's his name. That's his real name, and he's with the firm of Gonif, and Schlemielenthal.